I am beyond excited to finally become a registered nurse, but the transition phase between now and then is rather terrifying. There is also a transition from a new grad to an experienced RN that holds a whole new set of emotions that I won't go into. A few of my main concerns are these. Time management. Can I eventually provide excellent patient care, all while doing the extra tasks such as orders? Another concern is about the staff. Are they going to be patient with me? Are they going to help me when I need it? I think overall, a concern that encompasses everything is, can I do this? Can I be the nurse I see myself as? Can I be the nurse I would want if I was a patient or a family member of a patient? Can I be the nurse where my coworkers feel safe and comfortable around me? I am excited for this last leg of my journey and am looking forward to my final preceptorship. The transition from a student nurse to a grad nurse brings much excitement and fear. When thinking about becoming a grad nurse in a few short months, there are many concerns that come to mind. I wonder, how am I going to manage with a full patient load compared to 2 to 3 patients? Am I going to be able to make appropriate clinical judgments in an emergency situation? What will it be like without a clinical instructor or a preceptor there to support me? While thinking about the transition, there is an increase in the level of anxiety due to the heightened level of responsibility. However, I am very excited for the next part of my life. In order to help that transition, I am hoping to greatly expand my knowledge in acute care nursing, take as many learning opportunities as I can, and ask lots of questions in my preceptorship.
Quote, although the phenomenon of reality shock has been acknowledged as part of the new graduate nurse transition for decades, there is evidence to suggest that the problems with the transition into practice are more serious today. In the next few months, I will become a new graduate nurse. I'm excited and scared to graduate from nursing school and start working at the Medicine Hospital. The experience I will gain in the first few months will be overwhelming, but I'm sure well worth it. I'm hoping to be able to identify nurses on the floor who will be able to lend a hand and share their wisdom. Each and every experience I gain will help me later on down the road in my nursing practice. As well, the modules provided by Alberta Health Services I believe will be key to my success in the areas I choose to work in nursing. I do wonder though, will I struggle being a new graduate nurse on the floor and not having my instructor? The biggest shock to being fresh out of school was the massive amount of learning there was still to be done. 4 years of college left me thinking I was done learning. As a student, you want to do everything you can to help you anywhere you go. As a new ground nurse, I found it challenging to walk by a dirty linen cart and not empty it, or to ask for help doing things such as patient care. This is something we are expected to do during nursing school. Unfortunately, even though you still want to do everything, you do not always have time. Learn humility and to ask when you don't know. There is nothing worse than a new grad nurse who is unsafe because they would rather save face than ask a colleague for help in something they don't understand. Fortunately, the staff on ICU are extremely helpful and the absolute best team players I have ever met. They were actually probably too patient and kind in instances where they should not have been. Prioritization of patient issues and needs is extremely vital to nursing practice. Plan for discharge the day of arrival. Be thirsty for knowledge. If you think you know everything coming out of school, you will crash and burn.
Barriers to becoming a new grad nurse were being confident in oneself to perform safe practices with a full patient load, becoming a team member, trusting staff members and staff trusting you when working together, and not having the instructor by your side in practice and having to seek help from other staff. Ways to overcome these barriers are by reading journal articles and keeping up with practice to remain confident. Be a team player, work with staff, and help whenever you can. Find a staff member who you can look up to and seek help when in need. Staff were very kind and patient in the transition period. When doing something wrong, they would provide constructive criticism, and any questions asked would be provided with very knowledgeable answers. You are not by yourself. Nursing is a profession where everyone works together. It helps knowing that you are not the only one with a huge responsibility when caring for patients. If you have questions, ask it. Do not be afraid. It will be better in the long run and may even save the patient's life. Please help new nurses when you are a registered nurse, and remember how you felt as a new nurse. Also, it is okay not to know answers to everything.
Time management was something that I struggled with at the beginning when I started working as a new grad nurse. As a student, you only have a few patients, but when you start as a grad nurse, you have 6 patients and are expected to know everything about these 6 patients. One strategy I found was to take notes of how your coworkers organize their day. This will allow you to get ideas of a routine that might work for you. Making a to-do list also helps make sure that you get everything accomplished throughout your day, even if you become busy. As a new graduate nurse, I feel extremely lucky because I have always felt supported by my coworkers. If I'm unsure of something or if I have any questions, I can turn to them. Ask questions and take every opportunity to learn that you can. You will never be able to know everything, and even if it seems like that's what the expectation is when you become a grad nurse, it's not. It's a lot easier to ask for help than try to deal with a situation that you are unsure of by yourself.